Coming to a seated posture and just feel yourself here. Feel your feet on the ground, feel your hands on your legs. It's going to bring your attention to this moment. A lot of times we can settle down and our mind is still, 5 or 10 minutes behind us, still dealing with whatever it took to get here. So take a couple of breaths. Grab your attention and gently pull it into this moment. And just moving the head. So moving the head in a slow, exaggerated nod. Letting your chin come toward the chest. Letting your eyes go toward the ceiling. And it's feeling this movement coming to center and then moving your head from side to side. The first few times, just your head, feeling this gentle twisting in the neck. And then moving your head and your shoulders from side to side. So again, it's very slowly. You may move one hand to the opposite knee just to help with the twisting, but you're not, pulling yourself around. Coming back to stillness and then rounding the back, looking down toward the floor, maybe stretching your arms out in front of you. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then after the next out breath, coming back to sitting up, arching the back a little, pulling the elbows back, breathing in. When you breathe out, round your back. And do this a couple of times at the pattern of your breath. Coming back to center and moving your shoulders. So letting your hands be to the sides and then just gentle rotations backwards of one shoulder and then the other. And if you'd like, kind of lean into it a little bit. So you can feel the shoulders moving and also a little bit of a stretch on the side of the body. Coming to stillness and then going in the other direction. Coming to stillness, sort of moving your arms. Moving your hands, flapping your hands around a little bit, maybe in circles. And just warming up all these different joints, muscles. Extending your fingers and then making fists with your hands. Moving your fingers around, scrunching them. All right, great. And then taking your hands down to the side, maybe at a 45-degree angle with your palms back, and then just pulsing your hands back. So you'll gently feel a slight stretch in the chest. You feel your shoulder blades moving toward one another a little bit. All right, coming to stillness and one hand overhead and sort of reach at an angle, lean into that, and then bring that hand down and the other hand the other way. We'll do this a couple of times and staying in an upright plane. So trying not to lean forward. And if you find that you are, just straighten up a little bit. You can do this against a wall, standing, or you can just imagine, you know, that you're trying to get that kind of strengthening and lengthening with your back and your hand in the same plane. And now we will do it in front of us. So about shoulder height. And then we're just slowly reaching and pushing one side and then the other, leaning into it. So not only will you feel this stretch in your arm, but in the side body. All right. Just coming to stillness. And extending one foot. You can extend it with your heel on the ground, or you can lift your foot off the ground, whichever works for you, and just turning your foot in big circles. If you're lifting the foot up, be sure that you have your tummy tucked in. It's always a good idea to do that anyway, if your foot's lifted or not, but particularly if it's lifted up. If you're doing anything, and go the other way, if you're doing anything that requires this core strength, you want to tighten your stomach. All right, bringing that foot underneath you, extending the other foot, and turning the foot in circles. In one way and then the other. And bringing that foot down. And then just with the feet on the floor, just lift, going up onto your toes. Bring your heels down to the toes, your heels down. You can stand to do this. Jessie is able to stand against a wall. So whatever is most comfortable for you, but we're just really feeling this muscle, especially in our calves. We're going to get warmed up a little bit. Let me invite you to stand up. And as you're standing here with your feet about hip width apart, kind of let your body rock from side to side, feeling the weight move from one foot to the other. And then coming to stillness, lifting one heel and pressing into your toes. And just pressing, kind of feeling each toe if you can. And then again, moving your foot in a circle. Putting that foot down, letting your weight shift again from side to side, and then coming onto the other toes, lifting the other heel, pressing down into the toes, sort of moving from the big toe to the little toe, and then doing circles with the foot. You'll feel this movement in the knees, the hips. All right, great. And then using your chair as a prop, or if it doesn't work, then don't. But if you have something to put your hands on, doing that. Having your hands on that and standing with your feet under your hips and rounding your back. So this is just like what we were doing when we were seated. Rounding the back, letting your head hang down, breathing out. And then as you breathe in, arching your back a little, raising your gaze toward the ceiling. And as you breathe out, rounding the back again. Letting the head just hang once again. Breathing in, arching the back. And then coming back to neutral and just letting your hips move back. So letting the hips move back. Just letting the upper body sort of relax here. Bending your knees a little bit. And then just moving your hips from side to side, or bending one knee and then the other knee. Just moving the hips and the pelvis a little bit here. And warming up all of these different joints. Coming to stillness. Walking forward, coming back to standing. And just noticing how you feel here, noticing how the body feels. You just had an opportunity to move everything and get a sense if something feels tight, if something feels like you want to move it more, or you want to move it less. Take that information in as we go through these exercises, so you can do what's best for your body. Okay, and I'm going to turn you over to Jess.
Okay. You guys can hear me and see me okay?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Warm up time. So we are going to just up it a little bit from what Teri started us with, and try to mimic the movements that we're going to do in the workout and the strength part. So it'll click for you as we go along that pattern of I've seen this before. Okay, so be patient, go at your own fitness level, and pace. Everything will be 30 seconds today. As far as strength, we'll use water bottles or light hand weights. Of course, we'll add some planks and balance stuff, coordination. Think about your posture. Think about your foot placement. Let's get 5 more seconds of this. Good. Hands together, feet together. And we're going to separate our arms and step to the side. They call these modified seal jacks. Squeeze those shoulder blades at the top of the movement right here, and then squeeze the chest right here in the middle. Okay, gonna warm those shoulder joints up, and then open up our hips. Still core is tight. We're breathing. 5 more seconds. Good. Down. All right, arms straight up overhead. We're going to pull our elbow down and drive our knee up. Okay, I have a wall behind me. If I didn't, I'd have a chair next to me, just to make sure I'm safe. Balance is something we have to work on for it to improve, but it's doable. Good range of motion in the front of the hips now. So we're going to go front and back, side to side, and we're going to rotate. 5 seconds to go. Last one. Good, shake it out. Let me show you the hinge from a side view first. My feet are shoulder width apart. My hips are going to be drawn back. My legs still nice and straight. It's not stiff, but it's a natural bend to it. My arms are hanging in front of me. I'm going to go down just a little bit, come up to about the forehead. Okay, go at your own pace here. This is the warm up. You don't have to make it cardio. I want it to be nice and smooth. Stretching out the calves and the hamstrings, and of course the front of the shoulders now. I'm going to face you so I can see the clock. About 10 more seconds. Let's get one more. All right. Let's get some squatting movements. Sometimes I use a chair for this, but I'm not. I'm going to do little side to side movements. I don't want you to go into a full squat, but just little dips, okay? So notice there is a bend in my knee this time. I'm up straight in the middle, and then I'm setting up for the other direction, okay? So nice and smooth, we're just heating up our thighs. Back stays straight. Be aware of your footing. Push through those heels and squeeze those toes. And have your eyes on me, not the floor, okay? Keep your back nice and straight in alignment with your neck. 5 more seconds. Should feel your heart rate going up a little bit. Time. Okay, let's see. Let's go side to side with our arms like a jumping jack. We're not going to jump though. And pull our heels towards our butt. So another good balance one. You got the wall right here for safety. If it's hard for you to go up over your head, no problem. Just go up to here where it's comfortable. But we're stretching out our quadriceps now. Working on range of motion in the knee. Nice stable core. Couple more. Last one. Good. Shake it out. Why don't we grab some water before we start the planks? Since we have a couple new people, I want to make sure everybody has our bands before we do bands again. So please let me know before the end of class if you need one or a replacement of them, because you've been using them so much practicing. Steve, you better not be making fun of my hair. Okay. So light weights or water bottles.
I'm muted.
I love you too. I usually keep a heavier pair and a lighter pair depending on the exercise. So as you get to know your body, it's good to have a couple just so you can build strength. Okay. So we're going to do the hinge again. Remember, we just saw the hinge in our warm up, except we're going to shrug our shoulders and stand on our tippy toes. Okay. So the hips go back, come up nice and tall, shrug, and lift your heels up. Okay. We'll do 30 seconds starting now. Face everybody. Hopefully I can see. Keep that back straight. We'll go through the routine twice. So this is sort of a second warm up, right? 5 more seconds. Last one. Okay. I'm going to go for my lighter weights now. In the spirit of supersetting, like what we've been doing in the past classes, we're going to pair up exercise that get the most out of a certain muscle group. Okay, so we did the shrug in the last movement. Now we're going to keep on with our upward shoulder area and just do some pullbacks. So keep those elbows up and squeeze. Okay. This just gets the most out of that muscle, that shoulder muscle that we've been using, along with our upper back. I got a nice wide base of support with my feet. 5 more seconds. Time. Okay. Back to my heavier weights. We're going to go side to side now. And we're going to add a bicep curl. Okay. So feet are together. I'm going to step or lunge to the side. So let me do modified first. You can step if your knees bother you. You don't have to go all the way down. Just step. If you want to get the lunge in, you go a little lower and you keep that one leg straight. Okay. Try to keep your back straight, meaning look at me. Eyes up, not on the floor. Make sure the area is clear. 10 more seconds. Let those weights go down nice and slow and controlled. 1 more repetition. All right, and time. All right. Are you all set, Steve? Okay. All right. Elbows out, arms like a goalpost. We're going to go up overhead, back down, and then forearms together. Okay. So a press overhead, halfway, squeeze. Okay. Up, down, middle. Coming up on halfway. Yep, come together with the arms on top. Yeah, perfect. 5 more seconds. Good, last one. I am going to use the chair for this one, for the squat, okay? So remember in the warm-up, we just did the little dip and we step side to side. The goal is to sit to stand for this one. So if you need a prop, if your legs aren't, you know, if you're working on getting them stronger, you might want those. Okay. So arms are hanging down by the side. Push through your heels. Come up with one leg as a knee raise and back down. Then we're going to get the other side. We're just going to alternate leg side crunches with the squat. Five more seconds. Let's get the last one in. Good. I'm going to get the lighter weights now. Back to the hinge, okay? So your hips are back, your back is straight, and I want you to alternate slowly your arms forward and backwards. When you're going backwards, press it so you work the back part of your upper arm, your triceps. So push out and back and up. You don't have to go too low. I don't want you like at 90 degrees. Just a nice little angle. Get about 10 more seconds. But as slow and controlled, so you get that negative contraction on the way down. Last ones. Time. I'm going to stick with the lighter weights here on this one. Everybody doing okay? I'm going to step forward, step or lunge forward. I'll do both versions. So if you're modified, your knees are mad at you today, just step and raise. If you want to add the lunge, go ahead and drop that back knee. Okay. Eyes forward, core tight. You can have a slight bend in your elbows. Keep those shoulders safe. Ten more seconds. Last one. Good. Good. But we're going to add them now. We're going to mix it up. Have some water. All right, planks. Shoulders over wrist. Body straight in alignment, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Go ahead and crunch one leg in, stay on the same side, then go out to the side. Stay on the same leg. Up and out. Ten more seconds. Let's go ahead and switch. This is great for the core. Get your shoulders, your upper arms to keep you stable. The key to it is to keep those hips from swinging, okay? I don't want it to look like this, because you're gonna hurt your back. Let's make one more and walk it in. Okay, shake it out. I'm gonna face you so you can see my upper body. Ready? Go ahead and raise up, just to the forehead, not straight up over your head. Right to about eye level. Pull back that belly button. Try to marry your breaths to your movements. Five more seconds. And time. If you feel your upper body starting to sink down, or your middle of your body sink down because you're building your strength and you're not quite there yet, go ahead and walk it in a little bit, okay? All right, on your toes, nice and strong. Now heel goes up and back. So just pulse it, okay? Really getting that glute isolated. But try not to rock those hips. Imagine a glass of water on your low back. We'll switch in about 5 seconds. Go ahead, other leg. Ten seconds to go. Last one. Good, walk it in. One more upper body, then we can roll to the next round, okay? Gonna lift a hand up, roll your hips and your ankles along with your shoulders as one unit. Try to reach up, get a nice shoulder and chest stretch here. Eyes on your hand. Just follow it up. A nice smooth roll, transitioning from one arm to the next. 10 seconds. Let's get one more side in. Good. Walk it in. All right, back to the top. You guys need a little water break? It's so dry. All right. So I'm gonna move through this. It's gonna seem quicker. It's gonna be the same amount of time, but there's gonna be less instruction, okay? So follow along to the best of your ability. Try to remember which exercise are working for you, which one you never want to see again, okay? So we'll do the hinge, the shrug with the tippy toes, okay? We'll still do 30 seconds, down. Halfway. Last 5 seconds. Make this your last. Good. Let's go right into the face pulls and then we'll do a stretch. Okay, so I'm getting my lighter weights. Arms straight out in front of me, elbows back. Core's tight. Go at your own pace here. Coming up on halfway. Last 5. Weights down. I'm going to go to my chair. You can do this on the wall too. I might as well show you. Like you're getting arrested. Go ahead and pull those hips back just like Teri had us do in the beginning. We're doing it again now because it's a great stretch, especially when we work the back of our legs and our shoulders so much. So a couple recovery breaths. We do want to maintain a higher than normal pulse and heart rate. Go ahead and walk it in. You're getting the heavier weights. We're going to go side to side and do the bicep curls. Okay. Feet together, step out, keep those elbows close to your body, back straight. Keep the feet parallel so your knees don't go all tweaking. Your feet should be facing forward. 10 more seconds. Make this your last side. Good. I'm going to go to my lighter weights and we're going to go up over our head with our shoulders and together with our chest. Ready? Up, together. Try to stay in the same plane here, meaning like right up over your head. You start reaching out like this, you're going to hurt your shoulders, okay? Make sure your core is tight so you're not straining your back. 10 more seconds. Let's get 2 more reps. Good. Let's get a nice stretch here. Let's have a seat. Arm behind you, you're going to push away from it. So push your body away from the limb that you're stretching. So here it's chest, shoulders, and biceps that we just did. Couple of breaths and then we'll switch. Okay, good. We can also, since we did the side to side lunges or steps, we can get the inside of our thighs. Lean forward just a bit and push your elbows on the outside of on the inside of your knees. You can even lean, get that nice long stretch from your knee to your hip. Also gets your back nicely. Couple breaths here, slowly rise up. And now we'll do the squat and the side crunch. Okay, so I'm going to use weights on this one. You don't have to use weights on everything. If you're just getting used to these exercises, it's fine. I'm on the edge of the chair. Let me show you first before I get the time going. Push through my heels, come up with a knee on the side. Slow and controlled on the way back down. Crunch your knee up. Okay, time's going. Again, go at your own pace. Breathing, back straight, eyes forward. Halfway. Five seconds to go. Let's make this your last. And have a seat. And we'll get a stretch. Okay, I'm on the edge again. I have a foot back. My knees driving down towards the floor. And I got a little lean behind me. Nice long stretch from kneecap to ribs. Been using the core a lot today. Come on up and switch. Good. Another one for the core. You can either have your arms overhead or on your chest and just hold to the side for a second. Just hold it or use a hand up. Get that nice long stretch here, the muscle we just used. Now get the other side. Overhead or on your chest. Okay. We're getting there. Now we're going to do the hinge and then the alternating arm swings, okay? So I'll do 2 different views, hips back. Now push those arms back, straight arm. This is just like some of the tricep exercises we do, except we're also going forward. It's great for your core because it's keeping you stable from wobbling side to side. Good for your posture because you're pulling your shoulder blades together. Coming up on 10 seconds to go. Last 5. Let's get 1 more each side. Boom, boom. Slowly come on up. Stake it out. So the next one is either going to be a step forward or a lunge with the side arm raise. Okay, we're going to burn those shoulders out one last time before we do some more abs. Okay, so feet together. Now step forward, step or lunge, and then arms go out to the side. Keep those hips square to the wall across from you or the screen. Scrunch those toes. Make sure your footing is secure. About 10 more seconds. Let's get 1 more leg. Woo. Stay upright. Let's get our shoulders in the chest in a different way now. In our triceps that we used in the last ones. So I'm pulling my forearm towards my chest and getting that nice long stretch that goes to my shoulder blades. Okay, other arm. Good. We also used our glutes quite a bit, especially with the lunges, okay? When you get a lot of lunges in. So you can do this seated or standing. Might as well show you seated. We can all take a break for a second. I'm going to grab at my shin. I'm going to keep my upper body nice and tall. And I'm going to get a nice stretch right here. Couple breaths. Switch. Good. Let's get some abdominals since we have a little bit of time. We have a few minutes. I'm going to grab a real light weight. Let's see. And we'll just review some of the ones we've done in the past. I'm going to sit at this angle so you can see me and how my back is, and my hips are, and everything like that. So just watch me first. So not up right overhead, but to your forehead. Keep the arms straight and just rotate side to side. Make a little triangle. That's halfway. I'm also leaning back just a little bit so I can challenge my lower abs a little bit more. 5 more seconds. All right, bring it in. Okay, Now we can, let's say we can do some more side crunches. You don't need the weight for this one, but just like with the squat to stand in the crunch, we can do them here, but we can do them faster and we don't have to worry about falling, right? So I'm out to the side just to get a different angle. And I'm crunching as if I were on my back on the floor. Rounding the shoulders a little bit, meeting in the middle. We're switching in 3, 2, 1. Other side, arm up, come together.
Jess, I've got to leave in a few minutes. I just want to say thanks. And when you do it to the core, I really appreciate that. Semper Fi.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Last ones. Well, you just made your YouTube debut. Can you mute yourself so people can? Thank you, Semper Fi. Okay. I'm going to show you a few chops, and that you're going to feel this in different areas of your core too. But I got my shoulder blades back, and I'm just going to go up overhead. It's just going to feel like a shoulder raise, but think about how your core is being challenged with this too. It's keeping you from leaning forward. So nice and tall, keep it tight, tight, tight as a drum the whole time. One more, and then we're going to stop in the middle. Now we're going to go side to side. So we're not going to rotate from the hip. We're going to rotate from the shoulder. Notice I'm not going like this. We're going to keep our hip and lower abs steady, but we're just going to go a few inches, maybe 6 inches the most, side to side with our shoulders. 10 more seconds. Good. Now to stop in the middle. Don't put the weight down. Now we're going to go up. Just like when we did those little A-frames, we're just going to stop in the middle and stay on the same side. And then we'll switch in 5. Leaning back just a little bit. Other side. Keep that core tight. Keep those arms straight. Good. 5 more seconds. Last one. Woo! Feel it in my arms more than my core. Okay, guys, I'm going to hand you over to Teri to cool us down.
All right, what a great workout.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So coming to standing, let me invite everybody to stand up. And we're just going to kind of walk in place. So one of the things that Jessie has been encouraging us throughout the exercises is to keep our heart rate up. So now we want to let that heart rate come down. So we're moving our legs, moving your hands if you'd like, and really feeling your breath, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle, like you're breathing through a straw. So in through your nose and out through pursed lips. We're moving, keeping moving. Great. Now bringing hands in front of you and sort of letting the hands come over one another, continuing to move your legs if you'd like, sort of scissoring the arms. Now put the other hand on top. Continuing to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Coming to stillness, moving your arms, sort of moving the arms, the shoulders, the hands, letting your hands be at the side, palms back, and pulsing your hands back. Allowing your breath to continue slowing down. If you can hold on to your hands behind you, doing that. If not, continuing to pulse. You can hold on behind. Just lifting your hands a little bit, not much, a little bit. And you're going to feel the upper back, the chest, coming into a slight bend if you'd like. Let's see what your body is kind of calling for. Once again, moving the arms, moving the hands. You can use a chair if you'd like, or the wall, but we're just stretching the quadriceps. So here I'm using a chair and I'm grabbing a hand behind me and just pulling that up a little bit. Just to feel that slight stretch. Letting that foot come down on the other side. And this is one of the stretches that we did while seated. So there are a lot of ways to do this. Letting that foot come down. Stepping back with one foot. You can use a chair or not. Keeping that back heel on the ground. Keeping that back leg straight while you let the front leg bend a little bit. And you're going to feel this stretch in the calf. And if it feels like your heart is still on its way down, continuing to breathe in through the nose, out through pursed lips. Okay, bringing that foot back, extending the other foot behind you, heel on the floor. Again, you can easily do this with a chair, with a wall, with the kitchen counter, with any prop. And just bending that front knee just enough until you feel the stretch in your calf. Stepping back together. Now extending one foot in front of you with your heel on the floor. Letting the back knee bend and just bending a little bit toward the toes of your front foot. Not trying to touch your head to your leg, just again, feeling the stretch on the entire back of the leg. Other side. This also helps to stretch out the back a little bit. Straightening up. And then once again, using a chair, pressing down on the chair with your hands. So pushing down, walking your feet back a little bit, and then letting your hips come back even more. So stretching out the low back, pressing down with your hands. And now slowly walking back toward the chair, continuing to press down with your hands. And coming back to standing, sort of checking in with your body, seeing how you feel. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Giving yourself credit for